1 year ago, Insta360 came out with their X4 360 action camera, and as soon as it released, I got it, and I did reviews, unboxings. I took it out in the water, fishing as soon as possible. And over the past spring and summer, I've had so much fun with this. I've took it on my adventures, on my vacations, taking it out fishing, capturing my fishing footage in 360. This was by far my favorite camera ever since. And just this camera alone arguably had the biggest upgrades and improvements in this entire lineup, adding features such as a better processor, a bigger battery, and even 8K 360 video. It can also do 5.7K at 60 FPS. Now 5.7K at 30 FPS was the standard, and reason why I wasn't too hooked with Insta360s to begin with, because 5.7K was reframed to around 1080p. And beginning with the X4, you can get 8K 30 360 video, so you can get 4K footage out of that, which became more appealing to people who want more professional, high quality looking content in 4K, and which is one of the reasons why it made it very successful. And even to this day, I'm so impressed with this camera. But just 2 weeks ago, Insta360 made a post saying something like all day, all night, all angles, stating that their new camera is coming out April 22nd. It took me a second, then I looked at the image. It resembled faintly a Insta360 X4, but in this case, it's an Insta360 X5. 1 year later. And so I had to get this camera. I mean, I was so impressed with the X4, and I was thinking to myself, there's not too much they could do to improve this camera, right? So I ordered it right on release date, which was April 22nd on Tuesday, and about 7 days later, it has arrived, so let's unbox it. All right, well, here we go. So here we go, Insta360 X5 8K 360 action camera. So it looks pretty similar. I like the design. I think I probably like it better. I have the original box, so I kind of know what they look like, but yeah. Oh, I like how this opens, look, it's magnetic. Oh wow, I know that charging spot is on a different area. It's right here, actually on the other side. The battery spot is right here. I'm gonna check that out later. We've got a bigger mic area here. There's different mounting, quick mount release thing here. And here is gonna be our storage case, most likely. Maybe a lens protector or lens guards. I don't think they actually come with them this time. All right, here we go. This looks nice. Very, very similar case, pretty much the same. Nothing too new with that. Charger cord, USB-C to USB-C, that's nice. Some stickers, yep. But aside from that, they don't really give us anything else. No lens guards. These do have replaceable like lenses. So this is a lens guard, this is a premium. So the other one's standard, they typically come with standard, but they're larger, so they go on there. They screw right on there like, it's like one like twist or whatever, and this and then under that is going to be like its lens protecting it from the sensor pretty much. And there we go, and the new one does look a little bit longer, so yeah, it's definitely not compatible with the X4, obviously. I like these batteries. As soon as I figured out these batteries work like this, I was just amazed. And before we continue, if you're enjoying the video so far, and maybe you like some of our outdoor content, then I recommend subscribing to the Handley Outdoors YouTube channel. All right, so I've had this camera for a few days now, and before I show some comparison footage, I'm gonna talk about some of the main new features, and then I'm gonna get onto some of the main things I've noticed and things that make this camera different. Let's first talk about it looks different. I think it looks sick. Anyway, with that said, there's also a larger microphone, and so that's my first main point. I've heard someone actually talk about the microphone, the audio quality is actually better, other than Insta360 saying it's supposed to be better, which, you know, a lot of action cameras improve on. But what they did is they condensed a dead cat, or whatever you want to call it, like a wind muff, right into this, and so it's larger as well. I think that's what they did. They also come with stickers that let you take it, like clean it and stuff. I don't know. It's not too useful. I think someone pointed out that there's better color or white balance. I don't know too much about that, but things will look overexposed. I can talk all day about this camera, kind of, but main new features also is replaceable lens caps. Is going to be replaceable lens from home. You don't have to send it in to Insta360 to replace them. So how it works is there's this thing that twists and takes them off. I could just replace it. I think they're $30 or so, maybe 35 USD, but you only get one lens. And then there's a suction cup, and you just like twist it right back on. And the X5 will charge completely in about 30 minutes under ideal conditions. So you know what that means. Can't overheat too much. And so yeah, it's in a different spot. It's normally right here, right above the battery. but I think it's 30 or 27 watts, and it's more responsive and it can hear me better. If I tell it to, like, you know, turn off, shut down camera, it's actually quicker than the X4. Another thing this has, and something I've used, I mean, I haven't used it in the right situation, but pure video mode, it enhances low light, helped by an triple AI processor, and like a larger sensor. So with that said, I'm gonna show you some footage. I got my X5 and a little bit of X4 comparison, and then I'm gonna review all the list of pretty much all the new specs on this camera, because you can't just get it all from one source. So I've talked with ChatGPT, I've investigated some things with myself, and I've gotten a nice list of new features. So I'm gonna run over that real quick, and I'll tell you if this camera is actually worth it. Totally noticeable. Oh my God, would you look at that? What's going on here? Oh my God, the difference is crazy. Now, this video might turn out to just be a little bit rough around the edges, but I do have an entire list of all the new features featured on the X5 and whether it's worth it. So yeah, it's dual 0.78 inch sensors instead of just 0.5, which are gonna from the X4, but it's gonna improve more. It's gonna give you more detail and same resolution, but it kind of look higher resolution. But actually, in one of those time lapses you saw back there, if I actually added a time lapse, they're 11K obviously, but actually there's no pure video mode for it or pure time lapse mode, but it actually looks so good. I love the 11K time lapse because I like to use time lapse on GoPros when I was just a GoPro user, and it looked pure. And I looked at the sun or the sky, it looked nice. It was at dark time, so at nighttime, so it looked dark, but we had lights around, and that's really good for low light and pure video mode. But we didn't have pure video mode. With the better sensor, the time lapse looked nice, even though it's 11K, so it's gonna soak in a lot of that sensor, but it looked nice, and it helps with that and get less of the shadows out and get the exposure, I guess, correct. Pure video mode for low light, and replaceable lenses. You just get a tool that just takes it off or whatever. If it's scratched, like let's say this is cement, I scratch it on it, like if you're on a skateboard, whatever, and you have the pull, and then you let it too low to the ground, it scratches. You just get a kit, about 30 USD. You twist it off. The kit comes with like one lens for 30 bucks, I know, but you twist it off, replace that fixed lens, or you're gonna need to get two kits for two lenses, but because that's two lenses if you scratch both, which may or may not happen. And then there's a suction cup thing that, like, I don't know, you hold the suction cup so you won't scratch or touch the lens, and then you plop it right in there. Anyway, that's pretty simple. And X5 or an X4 introduced lens guards. This also has lens guards, but the X4 does not have the replaceable lenses other than lens guards. And there's also now HDR at 5.7K, 360 video, but 60 FPS instead of just 30 with the X5. That's kind of cool. I think it's helped with that new triple AI processor, which I may or may not have mentioned, that's also in this list. I'll probably mention again. But 360 video up to 4K, 120 FPS instead of just 100. And now there's a larger battery to 2,400 milliamp hours. There's normal video, single lens mode at 1080p, not 60, but now 120. All the single lens modes had 4K 60, 2.7 60, or 1080 60. Now it's 1080, 120. So if you want to get single lens like a GoPro shot, but with a 360 camera, let's say you just had an X5, you can get 120. That's pretty nice. That's like a good slow motion. There's a larger built-in microphone, and I've heard this is Biker, YouTuber. He reviewed it and he just talked about how nice it looked, how nice it sounded. There's always this background sound with the X4, but this is really nice. And I think they put like a dead cat right here. There's a significantly faster charging rate to 80% in 20 minutes or 100 in 30 minutes. So there's a larger size and design weight slightly, but it's also $50 more, so $550. There's Insta360 non-warp framing. So what you're doing is, I think it's 5.7K, but 360, but it's 1080p, like non-warped frame. So you get to, I could already tell. I'm not going to do a good job at explaining that, but it allows you to frame your stuff quicker with no warpage and stuff. If you've seen that, 360 cameras or GoPro also has that normally. But yeah, there's also eye log color profile for the professionals out there, and it goes deeper to 49 feet, which is kind of cool, instead of just 33 feet. But yeah, so that's kind of everything. So yeah, I recommend this camera. It's just amazing, and I can't wait to see how Insta360 is going from here. And I'll see you in the next adventure. Well, this one's not too much of an adventure. This is a unboxing. See ya.